Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Practical Diplomacy. A researcher colleague of mine from the Foreign Affairs Institute of her country asked me recently, is there something you could never get used to in your global discoveries, David? We were chatting about living abroad in many places with all its circumstances. By the way, please go and check out episodes 9 and 10 of the first season if you have not done it yet. There I explain in detail the amazing benefits and some unfortunate consequences of going global. So we compared our experiences of going global, and then she asked this, is there something I could never get used to? And yes, my answer to that is very clear, and I didn't even have to think about it actually, because this conclusion manifested in my head a few years ago. The only thing that in my experience I could never get used to is seeing children suffering or children being hopeless. You see, humans are so extremely adaptable, even in their spoiled, Big Mac fed, online living 21st century form. And if you go global, with all those experiences, your comfort zone expands unbelievably. And beyond that, whatever you can still take, accept, survive, or in our case, get used to, it's almost everything. You can get used to inconveniences, crowded cities, pollution, traffic jams, cultural differences. There's no question about that. You can get used to chaos. You can get used to bad public hygiene and dirty surroundings. You can get used to not having common languages with people around you. You can get used to active dangers, be it human dangers like bad public safety or street violence, or natural like earthquake or flood threats. You can get used to any low level of comfort. You can even get used to hearing gunfire from nearby. You can get used to extreme climate. I did experience and got used to much of these, no problem. I always embraced and cherished experiencing real reality, being outside of my little Western bubble, not only as a tourist, but for long stretches of time. But wherever I saw a child living in helpless circumstances, it was like having a knife cut through me. When I see little kids living in the roadside dirt, already professional beggars at age 3, I just feel a mixture of extreme sadness and extreme anger. Just how can human societies be so unfair? When I see children with addictions at such a young age because their parents are alcoholics or drug addicts, I feel the same. When I see children who were hurt and they bear the scars of injuries, or when I see children being actively mistreated, I feel the same. Or simply when I see children, in their eyes, there shines the hope that a child would always harbor for the future. But I know that probably they don't have any hope for a life lived in dignity. I feel the same. When little girls are not allowed to school, when little boys are given assault rifles and forced to fight and kill, I feel the same. And I would think that this is so obvious, but in my experience, not everyone feels like this. Once I was sitting on this long old motorboat traveling on the Tonle Sap River from Siem Reap to Phnom Penh in Cambodia. And on the river, a floating village appeared with poor little houses made of cardboard and plastic. Some of the locals were visible. Even in Cambodia, they counted as the poorest with practically zero properties, eating only what the river provided. And this little boy, 7, 8 years old, was on the water using a baby bathtub as a boat. And he was trying to catch fish with some equipment. And the tub was very wobbly and he was visibly scared, but kept trying. And seeing this made me think like how insane it is that this little boy has exactly zero chances for proper education, proper healthcare, even clothing, or doing something with his life. And it was just the same feeling that I explained earlier. And then I heard 2 Westerners on the deck, I don't want to say their country, and they were making a bet on the kid falling into the river or not falling into the river. And they were laughing about it. And I just couldn't grasp this, like the heartless nature of that. And sadly, this is just one of the many times when I sensed such complete ignorance from all kinds of wealthy people. Well, this was not the happiest topic, dear friends, but this is what I will never be able to get used to. The good news is anything else seems manageable. Please let me know in the comments what it is that you think you could never get used to. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you've not done it yet. Have a great day. Keep promoting peace, and see you in the next episode.